90% of PC builds are all the same. People are literally buying the same components on PC Part Picker, almost as if it was a pre-built, but you build the pre-built. There are certain components which nobody knows they exist, maybe, or maybe nobody wants. So I decided to build a PC with some of these, not with all of these, but some of these, okay? And this is actually a $1,000 budget PC, which every single one of you can build. It's very easy to build. Now, you may think it's a little empty. That may be true, but that leaves space for upgradability. So let's start by taking a look at this PC, okay? So welcome back at ImWateringPSUs. And now this build started because I saw the motherboard, okay? And now what we have here today is the Qingyue B650M Gaming Plus, and it's a Chinese motherboard from a brand called Qingyue. Now these guys, they started off by making very cheap motherboards for Xeon X79, X99. Then they basically reinvested the profits and are now making regular socket motherboards. I tried on the channel a Z790, which was very good. I tried the cheapest B650 on the market, which is the ITX Night Devil version. And then I tried this. I have a dedicated review. Now, why is this special? Because in short, if you don't want to watch the full review, the motherboard is really, really good, and it costs $120 to buy, which makes it the absolute cheapest board out there. Now, I decided to put with it a Ryzen 5 9600X because in Italy they are very cheap because nobody wants them. But if they are expensive where you live, a good choice is also going to be a Ryzen 5 7500F. Very good choice. Now, RAM and SSD are pretty standard, but very good components. I went with XPG, basically the brand with the anime girls on the packaging, you know, yes. And I got it in white because the motherboard is white. And then I got the new Kingston NVMe. And now this one is very good because it goes to 6,000 megabytes per second, but it's very cheap, like a lot cheaper than 7,000 megabytes per second drive. And it's a lot faster than 4,000 megabytes per second drive, as you may think by the specification. So I think it's overall the best value drive to buy at the moment. I don't see why you would buy anyone else unless you're going Gen 5, in which case, of course, get the Gen 5 drive if you do productivity. And now back again with things which people haven't seen as much as they should. My cooler is the LC Power JetFlow series LCCC. Now, LC Power is a very, very good brand. I use it on the channel every now and then. I want to use it more actually because their components are really cheap and they never failed on me. So basically this thing is compatible with AM5, the new Intel socket, fully RGB, it's a 360mm rad, and it comes in at just over $100 price point, which makes it very good value, especially if you pair it with the case, still from LC Power, which is what we've done here today. Now this is the 810W, and it comes with 4 included RGB fans, with a controller, massive controller, with also the remote to control it, and quite a bit of connectivity. But the most important thing is all the space you get. So it's not the best showcase to go with a very small micro ITX motherboard, but hey, we had to make budget somewhere, okay? But you can put a 4090 in here and actually have good airflow. And more importantly, if your motherboard is cheap, so you don't have a good RGB controller, you can just use the very good included RGB controller, which you have on the back here. I also really like the opening mechanism of the side glass in this case, and I really, really like the mesh. LC Power has been doing some insane cases, which just people don't buy them. Like I tried one, which was my absolute favorite one. The one, I will put the video link up here, I did with an X3D chip, 1500 X3D, with a first player water cooler, which was even weirder. And that case had basically mesh on the side, right where the GPU was. And I thought that was really, really cool, but nobody wants that PC. And I tried to say to some of my clients, hey, do you want to build a PC in one? And most people just said it looked a bit weird, but in person it looks even better than on video. So I don't understand why people are not buying it. Same as I don't understand why people are wasting money on the power supply. So what I have here today is the Deepcool 650 watt non-modular 80 plus gold unit. And now this is basically the successor to the PL650 80 plus bronze. And it's an insanely good power supply because it's a real 650 watts, not claimed 650, with a native 12 volt high power cable, and is ATX 3.0 compatible out of the box, which we are not using because we went with an RTX 4060 Ti from Zotac, which again, I understand actually why people don't like Zotac, because they made quite a bit of mistakes in the past, you know, with their RTX 3000 series. The 3070 Ti was really bad, 3080 was really bad, 3090 was really bad, 3080 Ti was actually okay. The Trinity versions, they were all like really bad. But with 4000 series, they have kind of started a new life, I think. I made a dedicated video on why I'm actually recommending Zotac nowadays. But on the lower end models, like even a 3060, they've always been pretty decent. I've actually run a 3070 from Zotac in my main PC for a while and it was fine. So what I got here is the white 4060 Ti, which is performing great, running cool and quiet. Speaking of which, we'll show you guys a few synthetics before we talk about the gaming numbers. Now, again, for more terminals about the motherboard, dedicated review, but basically, this motherboard, I don't know what it does to the CPU, but it is like slightly undervolted and slightly overclocked out of the box, so it's running insanely good. And okay, this cooler is insane. Take a look at the Prime 95 results. The CPU doesn't even look like it's under load. So you can run with this exact same configuration, even a Ryzen 7 9800X3D in the future, just a drop-in upgrade, you're gonna be plenty fine. VRM and cooling-wise, the LCCC is really, really good, and also very quiet. You can't hear it, you can't hear the case. Good combo, I'm happy about it. Back to the performance, I ran a quick CPU Z-score, which kind of gives you the hint that it's gonna perform well, but then we confirmed that when running Firestrike. I accidentally did the world record in Firestrike. Now again, not many people use Firestrike anymore, so it's not really a world record, it's just among the 15 people that uses it, it's the best score, but I use it all the time, and this is the best score I've gotten yet. So the motherboard is working insanely well, and take a look at temperatures of the GPU, very cool. The airflow of the case also contributes, of course, which goes to show that you don't have to buy name brand expensive hardware to build a proper PC, also because name brand stuff sometimes gets worse over time. I feel like Corsair a little bit has gotten worse over the years since they've gone public, and I would actually rather buy this than a Corsair cooler, to be honest, and also I would also rather buy this case than a Corsair case. Their power supplies are still pretty good, but just as an example, Corsair, please don't sue me, but you know. Now, gaming wise, you really have no surprises here, meaning this does what you expect it to do, just a little bit better because of the motherboard, which, I don't know, makes the CPU run very well and also takes the XMP off the RAM like it was nothing. So you can expect to play basically 1080p Apex Legends at 240 Hz. I'm talking about competitive titles usually. For Warzone, we are over the 144 Hz mark, definitely over the 165 Hz mark, but by a long shot under 240. So I would say this PC is good if you want to play maybe Warzone 1440p, 144 Hz with some kind of DLSS. Of course, if you want to play Black Ops 6, which is a bit lighter than Warzone. Of course, it's great for Fortnite in any resolution. It's going to do 300 plus FPS at 1080p, and it's going to play literally any single player title, 1080p, and also 1440p with DLSS. The good thing about going with a brand new GPU, as opposed to the used ones, I recommend a lot on the channel, is they have FrameGen, DLSS 3.0. They are good for higher resolution due to these technologies, which have been getting quite a bit better. If I had to buy an all brand new system, which I don't like to do that much, I prefer the used value for money, this is what I would do. We still have a bit of strange stuff in there, and for some reasons people don't want this and nobody's building it. So let me know what you think down below, if you would build it or if you are part of the 99% of people who would not get something like this. And if you are, please let me know why. I want to hear why, so maybe I can adjust also the kind of PCs I make. And if you've seen the video this far, maybe drop a like and subscribe to the channel so I can keep making videos like these, and I really hope to see you guys again. Bye bye.